Hello, welcome to another video, and I have had my Steam Deck for an entire month now. It's kind of crazy thinking that I've had this bad boy for like a full month now. Time kind of flies, if that's just a getting old thing, or if that's like you're always, time flies at every age. But anyways, this video, I just kind of want to talk about like my experience with it for the past month, because I did one when I first got it. I did one week later, and now I want to do one a month later to kind of give people an idea of like just like a normal person's kind of journey after buying one. Because I know like anytime you look up reviews and is it worth it, all this kind of different stuff. Because I was one of, like, I did that all the time before I bought one. It's good, but at the same time, you get like these tech channels and they start, talking so much more about stuff that so many people, to me, just I don't think is going to matter for a lot of things. Obviously, stuff like battery matters, the screen, functionality, performance, all that stuff matters to everyone. But in a way, I don't know. It feels like that people like the big tech kind of channels kind of like test it in different ways rather than just like having it to just like a normal everyday person has it in a way, if that makes sense. But I'm just gonna come out and say it right off the top. For me, 100% has felt worth it the first month in. I have played a decent amount of handful of games so far. All of them I never would have played without the Steam Deck, I think, which is, a big part of one of the reasons of getting it, as well of the times I play on my Steam Deck feels so much better to me right now. Where like without it, I couldn't mentally bring myself to come in here, turn all this on, sit here for even 1 hour, and then turn all off and go to bed. Rather, I would just still be in bed and play for like 2 hours. Like I lose time doing that. That's been happening a lot. I definitely play the most right before I go to sleep. I know it's not good for your eyes. Anything you look up, blue light and stuff is really bad for your eyes before you go to bed, apparently. Fuck that. That's probably the main time I'll play. Or if I'm sitting on the couch and my wife is watching TV or reading a book or, something like that. Really easy. Turn it on. Play for, even if it's less than an hour, it just feels normal now. While if I played on my PC or my Xbox or something, the games that would be playing like that, the functionality is so different. But that's one big thing I've noticed is just the ability to play games I wouldn't have tried before and playing them at times where like I just wouldn't play games. And that was a big thing too before, deciding to get one. It was like I'm getting older, my life's changing, a lot of different stuff is changing in my life. I talked about this a little bit in my last video, maybe this week, where multiplayer games are just kind of just not doing it for me right now as much. And I don't know if it's getting older, lifestyle and everything, but it's more like the story and just single player adventures kind of stuff is like I'm gravitating to that stuff more. And having the Steam Deck definitely makes it feel easier to do that kind of stuff on it. Now, just because I'm saying that it was worth it for me doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% worth it for you. It's obviously a big purchase. It's a goddamn handheld PC. I wouldn't just nonchalantly do it without like looking up reviews or having like that deep, like actually thinking it over for at least 2 days. That's still an impulse, but you know what? If you actually think it through and have some sort of reasoning behind it and come to the conclusion that to you think it's worth it, absolutely. I don't think you'll regret it. I don't think there's any giant flaws that you'll do it and you're like, oh man, why did I even get this? I think if you ask yourself if you actually will use it and like you don't think you will, then obviously I don't think you will. My wife loves traveling. I haven't even had to use it on like a plane or anything before, but I'm sure I'm going to at some point. It's going to be fun. It's going to make a plane or a trip or something like that, feel like a breeze in certain ways. Or if you're somebody that where graphic and performance and stuff is like it has to be the absolute peak, then obviously like it's not going to it's not marketed for you. I don't think it's not something for you. If you're going to use it on the go or feel like in your life the times of playing on it fit in really well for certain reasons, then yeah, 100%. I don't think you'll regret it. If you have a big Steam library as well, I found like most games will at least play on it. And I don't know if this is like for most of the ones that have the like, there's icons, if you didn't know, on Steam that will have, a check mark means it's fully verified. A yellow icon with an eye means it's playable, but like there's certain kind of things or slash issues. And any game that is like that I've played, it pops up a warning kind of thing to just tell you. Almost always it just kind of says like the keyboard will be weird at times, or the text will be small, or something like that. The only other one is Helldivers. In the settings, you had to change them yourself. They didn't have like a preset kind of thing for a Steam Deck, which a lot of other games will, downscale the graphics and everything to make sure it can actually run decently on the Steam Deck. Basically, every game you think can run on it will. A lot of the multiplayer, big multiplayer games can't, but I wouldn't expect that. Like something like Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, all that stuff does not run on it. I wouldn't fully expect it to, so I'm not really feel like I'm missing out in that way. But everything that I can play or have wanted to play is playable on the Steam Deck. Most are verified, which is really, really nice knowing that, yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to play that. Now, talking about the games that I have played on my Steam Deck, I think I've talked about this in the last video, but I'm just going to loop it all together. I've been playing a decent amount of Vampire Survivors, less lately, but that feels like a game everyone's going to play on a Steam Deck. It feels perfect for it, and it really is. It's just fun, quick, repeatable. I don't know, like replayable. You just sit there and play a few rounds, all of a sudden 20, 30 minutes gone by, and you had fun. I played through Inscription. I talked about that before. That was a great time. A game I'd never play and was just playable on the Steam Deck, and it played fine. I had no issues playing that. I played bits of Helldivers. It crashes and such. It's demanding on my PC, so like the fact I can even play it on a Steam Deck is like wild in my head. So something like that, high end, expect some issues. And then if you didn't see my last video, I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. I played that one like fully on my Steam Deck. Another game I always had, I don't know why, this single player game. I just didn't feel right playing it on console for whatever reason. But played great on the Steam Deck. Small frame rate issues, but if you want to hear more about that, go and watch my other video where I only talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake because I just finished it. And that was the first big kind of title that I played on my Steam Deck. It took a little over 30 hours. Again, felt comfortable every time I played it. It felt nice finding the time to just turn on my Steam Deck and put it, like, play 45 minutes, play an hour, and easily do that. Where I don't know what, like, with my Xbox and stuff, that feels so foreign to me to just come in here, turn on, play for 40 minutes, and dip. But if I'm not recording, like a multiplayer game, it feels so weird to me. I gotta get over that. Absolutely. But that was great. And I recently just started Baldur's Gate 3. That's a game I never expected to like enjoy it or be into it. It's Dungeons and Dragons, very heavily influenced. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons. I've always been like curious looking outside on that to like how it would work and everything. And I could definitely see, people enjoying it. Can't knock people. Everyone likes whatever they like, right? But I played it on my PC, and I lasted like a bit over an hour. The combat and stuff was not working with me. But I thought on my Steam Deck with the turn-based combat, everything like that, it would feel more, at home with me on a handheld. Because like turn-based, Pokemon on the Steam Deck, Pokemon on a handheld is like my childhood, which is turn-based. Very, very, very different. But just that kind of gameplay resonates with me as like on a handheld. And I think I'm about 5.5 hours in already, and I started it this week. I'm getting lost, like time-wise, in that game, which is crazy. Because at first, there's been one point where I was in one fight, and I lost it. Like, I died a few times, and I was like, what is wrong? Something's not right. Figured out what I was doing. Graphically, it's not the best. oh well. It runs like a clean 45 at least frames. And like 45 I feel like is when it's on the lower end. So that's great. It runs pretty well. I could probably bump up the graphics. They're not that bad right now to me. So maybe I'll try it just to see where the frames are. But Baldur's Gate 3 has been great so far. I'm having a lot of fun. But again, there's a lot of other games I'm really looking forward to playing on my Steam Deck. That my library's grown so much, like in the last month of having my Steam Deck. And there's games downloaded. I still have the Blasphemous games that I really want to play downloaded. I have Red Dead, but I think I want to play it on console and record it. But we'll see. Who knows how that will go. I Far Cry 3 was dirt cheap, so I put that on there. There's a lot of games on there that I didn't think I would like enjoy, but having the Steam Deck, it just makes it feel so easy to give them a try. You know, I don't know. That's one of the big benefits I've noticed so far with having my Steam Deck for a month. If you're someone like me that, you know, pivots a lot to different games, doesn't necessarily finish every game you play, I feel like it's great because it gives you such an easier option to just play 1 hour or so every now and then in a game and slowly either chip them away or get to experience a lot of other games. But this video is definitely a lot longer than I initially intended it to be, I think. But I just wanted to give like a grand kind of tour of my first month on playing on my Steam Deck. It's been great. I personally have felt like it's definitely worth it for me. I think you just have to have that conversation with yourself. There's nothing crazy bad. The battery seems to last pretty good. With Final Fantasy VII, I was getting probably 2 hours before I, have to go and plug it in and play. Baldur's Gate 3 feels like it's burning the battery a little more, and that's to be expected. They're big games, so that's nothing crazy. Graphics, everything, the screen looks great. I'm happy. It feels wonderful. If you want it and you think you're convinced you're going to use it, pull the trigger and do it. That's my opinion. But that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Consider leaving a like if you want to hear more about the Steam Deck and just, random stuff about me and the Steam Deck. Consider subscribing. Helps the channel a bunch. We're getting past 400. It's wild, so just thank you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.